Well, you know him as the hilarious comedian, always cracking jokes, and he's on our show a lot, supports the military. But off the stage, Larry the Cable Guy and his wife, Kara, they rely on their faith in Jesus and their horses to guide them through life. And now they are sharing how horses are teaching us about ourselves, life, and God in this new book. It is called Unbridled Faith, 100 Devotions from the Horse Farm. Joining us now, the author of the book, Kara Whitney, along with her husband, Dan Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Kara, what made you decide to write this book of devotions?
Well, I didn't really decide to write a book on devotions.
Oh, really?
I had a lot of questions about God. I used to I call it an excuse now. I used to refer to Christians as hypocrites. But I came to, this is drawn out over decades of me not knowing really anything about a relationship with God or anything like that. But I basically came to the conclusion that how Christians behave has no bearing on whether or not the resurrection happened. And so I wanted to know if that happened, because if it did, then it's true, right? And I came to find out over some time that the resurrection did in fact happen. And I really had to change my life or make a decision to follow Jesus or not. I could stay going down that path. It's about getting in a relationship with God. And as I'm doing that, I started witnessing on social media, and I noticed I was getting a response from that. And so a friend of mine asked if I would compile that into putting it on an app called GoTandem that helps people really sort out what's going on, like if they're struggling with fear or anxiety, any of those things, then this app, GoTandem, would help you out. But through that, someone contacted me and said, could you put those in a book? And so this is that book, Unbridled Faith. So this is very basic evangelism and questions I had about God.
She just started writing these on the internet for people that wanted to know. And he said, how many of those do you have? She goes, about 160 of them. Wow. And he goes, wow, you should put a book out.
For a book, yeah.
Yeah, she's
so,
real
Larry,
behind the scenes, so this is like...
You're watching God transform your wife's life, and then, in turn, he changed your life.
Oh, it was amazing. Well, here's the thing. I grew up in a Christian home, and the whole deal. I got into show business, and, if you don't stay engaged, then you kind of drift away, which is what I was doing. And then I saw my wife. My wife had all these questions. She was searching, and she's like, hey, so, and she'd ask me a question, and I go, well, I don't know. And it was embarrassing, because I grew up in it, and she didn't. And so when I started seeing the change in her, it really lit a fire underneath me.
Right.
And so that's why I wrote the foreword. I wrote a foreword in there, so it's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
It's actually a really good foreword.
And horses, how did they help you find God? How do you see God in horses?
Well, they're very peaceful. A lot of the time working with them, there's trust you need to work through, and just all of that. I have... anything from, why doesn't God give us everything we want? Well, I was overfeeding my Shetland pony, who I was giving him everything he wanted, and he got really sick. So just because we want it doesn't mean it's good for us. And so I thought, well, that would be a good way to explain that just because we want something doesn't mean God's going to give it to us, because his character is so good. He's just trying to protect us and to,
Right.
So
what he preaches to us is only out of love.
Yeah.
He's trying to help us make the right decisions.
And
for our future.
as I'm working through this, the character of God is being revealed to me, and he is good, and we can trust him, and his promises are true, and so it's a very basic evangelistic type book in hopes that if you're searching, that you'll pick this up. It's a very safe way to gift it to somebody,
I'm curious, how did you meet, and what's it like to have this comedian, the funniest guy, living under your roof?
We met in Las Vegas, actually backstage at the House of Blues, because I used to do radio in Las Vegas. And
I grew up on a pig farm. She grew up on a cattle ranch, and she told me she grew up on a cattle ranch. Right away I was interested, and she ignored me for a while, and I got a hold of her where she worked, and I think I talked to her every day for 2 months, every day. She flew down to see me. We got married a year later.
I made him pursue me, but I ran really slow. Yeah.
A good lesson. That's a good lesson for everyone watching.
The thing about her is I definitely outkick my coverage, so every time I'm out with her, people think she's a hostage, you know, so I think they've called the cops on me 3 times today.
And y'all have 2 kids?
Yes.
We saw them during the tease, and your son was beating you up.
Oh, yeah, he loves to beat me up.
Yeah.
He's 10, going on Ritalin, so there you go.
All right, thanks so much. Kara, the name of the book is Unbridled Faith, 100 Devotions from the Horse Farm.
I just want to say, we don't make any money off of this. We just want to spread some good news. And if they go to the Larry the Cable Guy Facebook page, that app Go Tandem, that's like a spiritual GPS.
Love that.
Yeah. If you download that, there's a way to get the book for free. So go to the Larry the Cable Guy Facebook page. You know, it's about spreading some good news because we desperately need it.
Well, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people, they're empty inside. They're searching for something. They're searching for hope. You know, and that's what my wife did. And so that's another reason she wrote the book.
He'll do that. He did that in my life in 1997, filled that void. Thanks so much, both of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. God bless you.